is up? It is Mr.StealUrGurl coming back at you with another Supreme Commander 2 cast. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this one. And I have to do this one early because I was wrong about last week. The friend did not come last week. She is coming this week to stay with my fiance and I. So it'll be for a few days. That's why this has to get done now. So anyhow, the map is on the iconic Open Palms. And let's see who the players are. Insane Gamble, spawning in as the white Aeon Commander. He is actually Hope. So Hope is Insane Gamble. He is dropping down some eco and then doing a double Land Factory opener. And he is, I think, going to go for a bot rush, perhaps. Maybe we shall see. So his opponent is Vs.unknowndesire. And he is putting his factories a little farther up than usual. Usually you want to get them out as soon as possible, but it appears that Vs.unknowndesire wants to protect his mass extractors because he's played with Hope, and he knows there are some weird things that could come out in this game. So Hope is building a triple Land Factory opener. And yes, it looks like a Harvog is emerging from that factory. And we got some meteors coming about, jumping in to do some massive damage here to this land factory. Trying to get these land factories taken out, at least a mass extractor or land factory. That is what he's probably hoping for. And putting a point defense down so he could retreat to, not the smartest of ideas, because a fish tooth could easily pop up. Now, just a strange thing to do. You kind of want to do this to Cybran. You don't want to do this to Aeon. Now, that engineer is definitely dead. And those bots need to get out of there because they are squishy little pieces of living mass. Now, an engineer being pushed up, that's interesting. And I like how these bots are pushing forward. However, right back at home, there is not a lot to stop this. Now, I like how the shield goes down. We're going to see some fish tooths. We see Factory TML attacking a heavy point defense. Maybe an overcommitment on point defense right there. Now, 1 point defense is down for sure. This factory is taking a lot of damage. 5 fish tooths are attacking. That 6th one is just sitting there. It would add to the DPS greatly if those fish tooths that one last fish tooth could join in and do some damage. Vs.unknowndesire's ACU is attacking that factory. If he gets one factory down, that could be a big advantage, and he's sucking up that delicious, yummy mass before he makes a retreat. Now, it appears he didn't overcommit. He did lose, or was that the Harvogs? Looks like it's some dead Harvogs, maybe? I'm pretty sure those are Harvogs. I missed it. Now, this is an interesting thing. A sacrifice capture on a point defense. Now, that is free mass for a few seconds and a control K. I would have let it stay up just a little bit longer and waited until it started to get captured, but I don't think Hope wanted to deal with it. He'd have to keep his eye on it because an engineer would have come around or those units would have destroyed it. And either way, I would have let it live if it would have been destroyed. Then again, that could have been free research points for his opponent. That is definitely not what you want to have happen. Now, we have Harvogs going behind this little mountain range here, and as you can see, there's nothing built. That is how you fight against bots. When you see bots in the field, you definitely do not want to build anything behind your line. You don't want to build anything behind that because unless you have bots yourself and able to respond quickly, bots in air, you could lose a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I like how he's assaulting this point defense on the hill. Hope is doing a really good job at shooting at that mass extractor from afar. Great job. That is one less mass extractor that his opponent has. Now, demolishers could destroy, could absolutely wreck bots. One missed micro there, those bots could be absolutely destroyed. But luckily for Hope, bots are easily microed because they are so fast and responsive. Let's see where that attack goes. And it does a decent amount of damage, I think. Now, that mass extractor was rebuilt, and that factory went down. One of Unknown Desire's factory went down by those fish stoots. The commander is hunting those fish stoots down. I don't know why they stopped. They probably could have taken the commander away from the front lines. You know, it'd be nice to see these bots over here move in, and they are doing just that. That is definitely going to take out at least one more mass extractor. That is unfortunate for the Unknown Desire, but very fortuitous for Hope. Now, we got this engineer sucking up that delicious yummy mass. That mass, definitely really a good thing. That is a mark of a good player. Reclaim is huge for the economy. It's practically free. You just reclaim. And building on the wreck is a good thing too. Now, see that delicious yummy mass? That's maybe like, it may not be a huge amount of mass per reclaim. However, it all adds up. It all adds up. Now, those are some free tanks that Unknown Desire is going to make. Maybe even that might have even paid for this extra land factory. That is the difference between having one less land factory. See, losing this mass extractor for those few moments did not matter. He was able to supplement his income by sucking up that delicious yummy yummy mass. Now, check it out, guys. We got an old school tactic that we don't see here very often. We have what we used to call a Cybran contain, a Cybran surround. You would take your bots and surround your opponent so that they cannot... See, right there, he was going to try and take out some mass points. And that would have worked out, but those units were right there. See, he's trying to get his opponent to overcommit because Hope's units are faster. Now he's trying to give him a false sense of security by moving this guy a little too far out. And now he's pushing them back. See, now what Hope wants to do is defeat his enemy in detail. And what that means is that his enemy may have a stronger or even bigger force than him, which I don't think he's got a bigger force, but he might have a stronger force with those demolishers and those rockhead tanks as they have more damage. Now, what he wants to do is defeat his opponent in detail, meaning he wants to take his opponent's units out when there's less of them, and then he wants to concentrate his force just like this. So he wants his opponent to have, see where my cursor's going, want those smaller amount of units to get in there, and then he could concentrate and smash them. That is kind of how the Cybran, what do you call it? The Cybran surround works. Now, Unknown Desire is no fool though. He is using his commander as a tank. So this is a very, very powerful army because of that commander. He is going to add some more damage, and Hope knows that he does not want to mess with that because he's going to lose his units. Now, he has more units right now, and Unknown Desire is committing his commander. Not too much though. He's bringing more units down. Now, this is a smart thing for Hope. Split off a small detachment so that Unknown Desire cannot fully concentrate. See, now if Unknown Desire concentrates here, this is going to be problems for Hope. Hope is hastily erecting some long-range point defense to help in the fight. Not a bad thing. Definitely don't like seeing him in a line like that, but under a shield, it is mostly okay. Now, there's a concentration of force right here, as you can see. There could have been a big problem for Hope if he did not concentrate his force. So definitely would have been a defeat in detail. Would have been taken out. The concentrated force of Unknown Desire would have smashed a smaller army from Hope. Now, Hope is in a... Actually, you might think he may be at a disadvantage because he's being attacked, but he's being resupplied faster with all of these land factories. These land factories are closer, so he's being reinforced much, much faster. And these long-range point defense are definitely helping the fight. Now, unfortunate for Hope, since the fighting is in his area, he's going to lose some mass extractors, maybe even a factory or two, maybe in a point defense, and definitely lost a research station, the only research station. There's 2 research stations, kind of a little far up for my liking. An Unknown Desire is being repaired, hanging out there. I don't know what he's going to do back there. We shall see. Now, there's going to be another mass extractor taken out. See, that's what you kind of want to do also, is drive by with your fish dutes, and you will take out some units. You'll take out some things as you drive by. Now, I think Unknown Desire is wanting to do that again. He's using afterburners, trying to concentrate his units, trying to take out at least one factory. Now, combined artillery and meteor fire does massive amounts of damage to buildings. As you can see, that building did not last long. Now, this unit has not been reinforced a whole lot. It's been reinforced, but not a whole lot. However, Hope's group of units have been reinforced quite a bit. So Unknown Desire did the smart thing and pulled out of the front lines there to fight another day. He's going to reinforce, he's going to concentrate force, and he's going to be able to fight again. Now, Unknown Desire would have lost if he stuck around here for much longer, because the attrition was not in his favor. The attrition was all in Hope's favor. So for those of you at home, do know that fighting in your opponent's area closer to his factory will allow him the advantage in that regard. If you do not shut down his mass or his factories fast enough, you will have a bad time, because he will reinforce faster than you will. Unless you're smashing his opponents faster than he could resupply, then you are looking good. But that is not always the case. Sometimes your opponent is keeping his units away from you, poking at yours. You're losing some, he's losing some, and before you know it, he's able to resupply his line faster than you can, and that is a nightmare. It's happened to me. I thought I was winning. I was pushing my opponent, but it just didn't work out for me that way. Now, these bots have shields. They are very strong bots. These demolishers are less powerful now, yet they are still very powerful, but they are less powerful due to the shields. Now, another mass extractor going down, definitely not ideal for Hope. Hope really should be helping to these factories produce, try to get even more out. Unknown Desire is sitting back there, putting down some, what do you call those, research stations. Now, this group of units using afterburners, taking out, as you can see, guys, an insane amount of damage is done to buildings with demolishers and fish tooth combos. Now, right here, this is not an ideal situation for Unknown Desire. As you can see, there are bots being reinforced, but Unknown Desire is able to reinforce because this rush distance isn't huge. 2 research stations down, 4 factories down, and a bunch of mass extractors and an energy generator. Now, these veteran mass extractors, they are fully vetted. They are being demolished. A vetted factory, vetted mass extractors going down. Not what you want to have happen by any means. Now, Unknown Desire has vetted mass extractors, all 4 of them. 2 have gone down from Hope. Hope pulled his units out. He saw that his opponent is being reinforced nicely. He has the economy to pump out units non-stop, and Hope may be struggling on the eco front. I am unsure of that. It looks like he's doing just fine by the way he is building. He's got 4 mass extractors of his own, not fully vetted. They are 3/4 the way there. But Unknown Desire is getting another expansion at 1/4, getting on to 1/3 of the expansion rate. Now, Hope would be wise to get an engineer, send him up here, and suck up this delicious, yummy, yummy mass right here, and rebuild on these wrecks. He's rebuilding these mass extractors, the smart thing to do. Now, Hope has teleport. One false move here from the UEF player, and it's all over. The teleport is definitely it allows Hope to reinforce even faster. It allows him to surround his enemies, surround them, and even get too close to the demolishers and fish stews so they they're less effective. They are not able to do what they do best. No. This is what I do not like seeing. An engineer just sitting there. I don't like seeing that in ACU. Building stuff, I like that. Definitely get your engineers to help build things. Now, an air factory. Definitely an interesting choice against Harvogs. Harvogs could build the anti-air on their units. So that's a mobile anti-air towers, guys. Very, very fast and very strong anti-air towers that could attack land. Now, air is probably not the answer here. However, if you build up a bunch of... If Hope did not know that there is air there, an Unknown Desire built up a large number, a snipe would be possible, and most definitely what would be possible is sniping of mass extractors and factories. Most definitely that could happen if Unknown Desire is sneaky about building a whole bunch of units. So that would definitely could easily win him the match. But they are, again, they're Harvogs. There's a couple of, what would you call that, research stations. There's at least 3 of them on the field. So that could be an incredibly dangerous thing. Now, I like this. Nice surround here. A wonderful surround. Bots in close do an incredible amount of damage. An insane amount of damage. Or DPS is just ridiculous. And guys, when I say you don't want to build P-gens in a line, sometimes you will want to build P-gens in a line because you are just trying to do it as fast as you could, trying to get as many teleports as you can, because that costs a large amount of energy. As you can see, the Harvogs are very, very powerful right now. They are an extremely strong unit with, I'm pretty sure they have some training, at least 1 or 2 on it. I wasn't really paying attention to the research. I'm sorry, guys. But these Harvogs are very powerful. Now, these Rockheads they have some training on them, at least veterancy. I don't know. But with teleport, there's not a really great counter for it. Now, what is this? A redundant radar, but whatever, you guys, whatever. Now, there's a Fat Boy being built. Unknown Desire, his lazy ACU is just sitting right there, not building it, but it's an intense battle. So you gotta forgive both players for doing things like that, for just doing that, because these are 2 of the best players in the game right now. Look at this. A bunch of air factories not producing anything, but there's a bunch of air factories. Now, see, just like I said, guys, teleport is so deadly if your opponent gets out of place just for a second. Now, in a split there, you want to split your units. Definitely a wise thing to do. Now, this is a bad thing to have happen. This Fat Boy is probably doomed, because these Harvogs could jump in and just kill him so fast. And that ACU is probably doomed as well. Now, bots at this point are incredibly powerful. As you can see, oh my goodness, that is a large number of point defense, doing an insane amount of damage. That is a bit strong for my liking. If I was Hope, I would not enjoy that. Now, the Fat Boy is attacking. As you can see, the Fat Boy is doing some damage, but like I said, these bots are far too strong. They are far too close. Took out the Fat Boy. It is pretty much GG, because Unknown Desire has no units. And Unknown Desire recognized that he had no units, and there are a bunch of bots that know exactly where his ACU was, and they would have just rushed right in, teleported on the ACU, and it would have been GG. So that was a very different match. We don't see matches quite like that often. It was quite back and forth too, because it looked like Unknown Desire had the upper hand for a very, very, very long time, but Unknown Desire was able to contain him using the bot flank. I like to call it Cybern flank, but it is the bot flank. And trying to defeat his opponents in detail by smashing smaller groups of units and concentrating his own, and waiting for his opponent to make a mistake and destroying mass extractors. I used to love that back in 1.1.2.5, and now that is not quite a thing in 1.2.6. So anyhow, that is an awesome strat, and I highly recommend you all try that out if you are into using the bot game. Definitely do it as Cybern. Definitely try to contain your opponent, and at least try to get them to make a mistake. So that could be fun. However, if you are too committed to micro and not building up your eco and building units, you could still lose if your opponent is really good and is able to build a fat boy or something. You could still mess it up, just to let you know, so be careful with that. So Hope, Insane Gamble, thank you so much for sending in this replay. That is the winning ACU underneath the factory shield, just in case anything happens, and by a whole bunch of point defense, stopping anything from coming too close. So anyhow, guys, like this video, subscribe to my channel, favorite it because that helps me out, and be sure to say something nice in the comment section down below, because I really like hearing from you guys and just chatting with me. Heck, even having a conversation with me down below about something, whatever you guys want to do. But anyhow, check out my Patreon. Become a Patreon if you feel the desire. I will give you at least one cast. And that is one cast total, or two, depending on how much you give me. $100 will give you 10 casts total, and that could be a fun thing for you if you really, really want to be cast. So that could be fun. But anyhow, guys, it is not a mandatory thing whatsoever. So be sure to share with your friends, family, and foes. And as always, everyone, GG.